right, everybody, we got Jason McKelvey versus Will Holmes. Brielle is here to take over. 1 game match, throwing their practice shots right now.
What is going on, everyone, here? Like Brian said, we have Will Holmes here going against Jason McKelvey. So they are just doing their warm-ups, trying to get things going here. Get used to the pair with only a shot on each pair. So the number 1 seed did get kicked out in the quarterfinals. That was Lonnie Jones. Taryn, pardon me, I'm horrible with last names here, guys. Taryn Hersma did beat him out. So again, thanks everyone for tuning in here. We are kicking this off. We have Jason had one more practice shot here. So Will is starting us off on lane 15 here for these semifinals. He is throwing, it looks like a purple hammer, and he did strike on that one. He's playing a little bit of a swing, not too big. Jason is setting up here. He was second overall for today, and he did come in a little low, leaving the 2, 4, 8. So it looks like both gentlemen are throwing urethane. Because of the short pattern, it is always a good idea to throw urethane on short patterns. So he is throwing a pitch black. Let's see if he can cover this here. And he did. He is playing roughly around 3-4 board, going up the boards. So he is on his second frame here. It is pretty quiet in this bowling alley tonight. And he did make a pretty good adjustment there. He's now playing 4-5, and he did strike off of that one. He does have 20 in the first frame. And let's see if Will can either take the jump on ahead or if he will stay the same. He didn't get the jump, so he did leave a 6'10" out on the lane. And he did cover it up, so both of these gentlemen, Jason and Will, both have 20 in the first frame. So Jason did have the upper hand by picking who started first, being the 2nd seed overall for the day against Will, who was 6th seed overall for the day. And he did come back with a strike. So now Will does have 40 in the 2nd frame with a 3rd frame of strike. And Jason is going to be bowling his 3rd frame at the moment. You guys do hear a little click and clacking. That is the ball return. It's way out of my control. I can't fix that. I'm not qualified for that either. So he sets up. He does have a little bit of a longer approach than most people. But he does roll the ball very nice. And did come high, but he did end up tripping that 6-pin out of there. So Jason does have a spare with 2 strikes going into the 4th frame here. These two gentlemen have been battling it out all day. As for Jason, did shoot a 278 the last game of qualifying, and Will shot a 194 last game of qualifying. And that ball just did not come up for Jason here. It did kind of die on the back end, leaving a nice 5 count out there on the lanes. He left a 2, 4, 5, 7, 8. So again, in this time, we would like to thank Brian for putting on all of these tournaments. He is the man. He keeps us bowlers sane during the summer. Let's see, can he cover it? And he does. He does cover that conversion there. And again, it was a very hot tournament today. The fans just could not keep up with all the moving, and all these guys were dying of heat today. And we have Will up here for his 4th frame. He did come up for another strike. So Will is on a double for the 3rd and 4th frame. Again, thank you guys all for tuning in. It's always fun to see our watch numbers go up. So throughout the day, Jason did shoot an 889 overall, and Will did shoot an 829 overall. They were a 60-pin difference. But how they're bowling right now, you couldn't tell. So Will did shoot another strike, giving him a turkey in the 5th frame. Jason does have a 5 spare in the 4th. He is going for his 5th frame at this moment. Again, if you guys would like to say hi to any bowlers here, please let me know, and I will gladly tell them for you. Again, thank you for tuning in. And Jason did come back with a strike. He does have a, I think it's a 85? Yes, 85 in the fourth frame with a strike in the fifth. You good over there, Brian? You good? Okay. So Brian is setting up for the finals next to me here. Alright, Will is up for his sixth frame here. He has a 85 in the fourth with a strike in the fifth. Just rolled his sixth frame, and he carried that 7-pin slow falling to the back. So that does give him a double. We have Will here with a turkey in the fifth frame. These boys are really battling it out tonight. This is a really good match to be watching. Because Will did throw a nice four-bagger here in the sixth frame. He is now going for his seventh. He has a 70 in the third frame and a 120 in the fourth frame. And he did carry that one, leaving him as what us women call it in bowling, a Yahtzee. So that's when you get 5 strikes in a row. So this tournament, these boys are really battling it out here. You have Will with a 130 in the fifth frame with 2 strikes after that. Then you have Jason with an 85 in the fourth frame with 2 strikes for the fifth and the sixth frame. He is currently bowling his 7th frame right now. Sometimes I don't know how these boys can handle this pressure, because I certainly couldn't. And Jason did leave a 2-8 out there on the lanes. That did leave quite of a big opening there for Will to take this match. And he did cover it. So Jason does have a 133 in the sixth frame with a 8 spare for the 7th frame. He is now going to be bowling his 8th frame, and he has to do something here or hope that something happens when Will shoots his next ball. And he did strike here. Hopefully that did save him just a little bit. his ball here. Ooh, he had a bad break and left a 7-pin out there. Ooh. And he did miss that 7-pin, leaving a good open here for Jason. So Will does have a 187 in the 8th frame. Jason has a 153 in the 7th frame, but with the 8th frame of a strike. Will is just taking a little extra time here to kind of get himself back together after missing that 7-pin. And he did come back with a strike, though, for the 9th, which does set him up good for the 10th frame. We do have Jason here shooting for his 9th frame. He does have an 8th frame, or a strike in the 8th frame. And again, this is a pretty close match here. They aren't that far apart to see who can go on to the finals. Can Jason be the comeback kid, or is Will going to take over here? Ooh, Jason has a good chance of being this comeback kid here. He did just bowl another strike, giving him a double in the 9th, getting ready to bowl his 10th frame. Alright, he's about to throw his first ball in the 10th here. And something just kind of threw him off to where he had to full reset. And in the other match, it looks like Drake is moving on. So, whoever wins this match will be going against Drake Baz. And Jason's ball just didn't fully turn, leaving the 2-8. See, and he did cover that 2-8 there. He has just one more ball in the 10th frame. Depending on that ball, does depend on whether or not he has a chance of moving on. Because like I said, this is a very close game. You have Will with a 187 in the 8th frame with a strike in the 9th. And Jason released his last ball here, and he did come back with a strike, leaving him with a 221 for the end game. Now it's all up to Will here if he has good reaction or if he done goofs it. He releases, and he does strike. Will does just need count in order to advance. And it comes up, and that is it. Will be moving on to the finals here. Jason did give him a tough battle. It just wasn't enough this time. He gets this, he does get a 347. So 346. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Please tune in for the finals.